So I was watching Dr. Ramadi again, and she's talking about narcissism that is linked to trauma. Like some cases, a narcissist has trauma behind the reason why they're narcissists. Um, and I get it. I get what she's saying. My biggest thing, though, is this. What if narcissism is just victimhood? Playing victim. Just you're skilled at playing victim. However you do it, whether you're like a master manipulator or you use tactics to make the person validate you. There is a sense of victimizing, right? And I think becoming a victim is common, right? It can happen, and oftentimes we have to dig deep to really self-reflect and see if this is a validated feeling to go on, or if it's something in the mix of maybe I did something, not even maybe, did I do something? Victimizing is just, well, I should say, highly skilled narcissism is just victimizing without any form of accountability, authentic accountability, because people can fake all the time, right? I think, what is it called? It's like humble boasting or some shit like that. It's like that. It's like to truly be accountable is to do the action behind the talk, right? So it's like we all gonna make mistakes, right? You may say something to someone and you catch yourself and you apologize right away. And then you're like aware of it. When you do talk to people, don't say that, or approach it differently. But I really do feel that a narcissist is just very skilled at being a victim. There's nowhere else to put it. We all have narcissistic traits, honestly. That is the primitive drives, just reaching out, right? Self-preservation. What about me? I gotta eat. I gotta survive. Whatever it is. But it does take higher thinking and a train of thought for you to regulate that, and to become more selfless. To be selfless is literally withering away. You wither the body. You sustain you holding your cross. You endure and you become resilient. Practicing resilience. does not mean that you should be consistently hurt by someone, right? I'm not saying that as in resilience. What I'm saying is that when life throws things at you, to force yourself to think about the other party, and then having to bite the tongue. You can be mad at someone and you could, for sure, say all kind of things of, this is why I'm hurting, this is why X, Y, and Z. And communication, yes, you're supposed to say how you feel, but do it with a lot of analyzing first. Two people can have two different perceptions, and you can say your list of grievances, right? And some are validated, some may not be validated, or all might be validated, or it's all complete bullshit. But before you say your grievances, analyze and see if it is, if it is validated. Some things are just like, well, maybe that was just a misunderstanding, or maybe I'm just being too selfish, or maybe you're being too selfish. Whatever the case is, it's something that you kind of have to put yourself into perspective. And oftentimes, when you do that, you end up relating to the other party. When you're able to just really sit down and be like, okay, this is what happened. This is the cause of this happening. Then I did this, then they did that, and then this caused this. When you really look at the whole timeline, you can see your iniquities and you can see their mishaps. And that's when it comes down to play, when you can say and talk to the person maturely, and you can have that conversation. And most often than not, when you're able to do that, it's not something where it stems from out of a strong emotion, such as like anger, sadness, fear, those lower, I can't even say lower, I think they all are on the same beat of your drum. It's what you give energy to. So if you have a lot of anger, when you're able to kind of put everything in perspective, you tend to remember why you and this person is are even in the same vicinity, right? Why you even know this person? Why you even hang out with this person? Why you even talk to this person? Why are you with this person? And you tend to remember your why. And if you're not still so mad, you can be more calm about it and give more grace. Grace is the biggest thing. Do know that when emotions are awry, it is a play. You playground when you allow your emotions. So if you have animosity and you let that fester and you do not heal whatever is inside of you, you will try to humiliate that person because you felt that kind of way. Whatever feeling that you felt, whatever brings you back to, you will project that. There's so much projection. It's like insane. It's so much projection. It's wild. But when you can go higher above victimizing victimhood, because you can say my situation. I could have went left or right. I dealt with mental health um issues before, right? Depression, anxiety, dissociation, PTs, all those things. And the road to forgiveness with me, it was really hard. Especially when it comes to certain figures that were in my life. It was really hard, and still some of the things you still have to work through. It's never like truly over. But if you keep going, it's you can't go further down if you just keep one foot in front of the other. But I do feel like, had I not forgiven, had I not put them in myself in their shoe and try to make sense of it to myself, of, well, if I was in this predicament and I was going through a particular type of pain, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing, given that grace of, even though I don't know your backstory, even though I can't physically, like, I can't feel everything that you felt, I can relate to one thing. If I can relate to one thing, and one thing that we will have commonality with, pain, then I know that I probably would have made the same decision. Because when you go through something that really hurts you, there is a reaction that comes out of that. And the most instinctive reaction is to protect. And that can come up in many ways of, I'm gonna get you before you get me, or I'm going to protect what's mine, or in any other kind of way. I could have did that, but I chose to forgive. And then it stemmed into, I want other people to feel, or to gain the clarity that I was able to receive, of just letting it go, letting that pain go, letting that person go, because those things will eat at you, and you'll be walking around, and it's crazy because you'll walk around and people will think nothing of it. You'll look the best of the best and be a pitiful sight inside. Be sad inside. Because it can't be healed right now, or it's, for whatever reason, it just can't be healed at this moment in time. And it's crazy because I started a whole nonprofit to help other people, and it was just like, I want to help everybody else gain that, at least the peace that I was able to receive. And if I gotta talk about God all the time, then I will. But that can have easily went disarray as well. If I didn't forgive and I open up the nonprofit, the pain can consume you to the point where now you wanted to help people, but you ended up just telling your grievances, becoming victimhood. And the way I healed was going to God and letting it go. I literally put all my pain up on him, and it was just like, this is what it is. I'm tired, and I can't do this anymore. And he took it. God took it. But for me to put it on myself, I can't, because it wasn't me. But when you have sense of victimhood, you tend to hold on. You tend to hold on to that pain, and you tend to, like, well, this is me, and you need to hear what it is, and you need to know what my pain is. And it's like almost like a broken record. It's my pain, my pain, my pain, my pain. And it's like you can tell your story. But one thing is that if you're going to stand by and say, God did this for me, or, I was able to forgive, or if you attach any type of progression, um, then it can't just be pain, 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 pain. It has to be pain, my solution. This is my pain. This is my solution. This is my solution. This is my solution, my solution. It should be more solutions than it is from pain, or just wallowing in the pain. Those pain creates so many sores, and it festers. And it doesn't matter who you are. It really doesn't. You can have billions of dollars, millions of dollars, and just be in pain, painful. And it's one of those type of things, just like, I get it. You just have to get to the point where you're ready to do that particular work. It took me 30 some odd years to be ready to do that work. And it wasn't by the choice of me. It was just like, God knew. It was just like, yo, you're hurting. My teens, you're hurting. Didn't even hear his voice. I'm going to tell you honest goddamn truth. Didn't hear his voice at all. 20s, massive pain. Pain. Didn't hear God's voice. Or I heard it and didn't recognize it. Because he talks in all kind of ways. It's just, are you paying attention? And I really wasn't. It was just like, I was focusing on my pain. I was like, life is, not fair, and this is the stuff that's happening to me, and how come, this person can't be like this and can't do this. And I had to literally look inside myself of, that person is that person. And the only thing I'm in control of is me right now. What can I do, right? And I didn't get that of, like, I gave it to God and all of a sudden I got that epiphany. It took massive amounts of fucking work and massive amounts of just looking at, this is the shit you're in, and this is the stumble and the broken bones and the bruises and the gaping wounds that you have right now. And you need to analyze every single wound and figure out, how did this happen, and how can we prevent it from happening, and how to treat this thing. And once I was able to learn each and every wound, because each and every wound is a memory. There's a memory associated behind it. The wound can heal. My body, if you look at my body, you look at me from what I was to what I am now, it'd be like, I can't even tell the difference. Oh my gosh, you went through what? And that's the crazy part when it comes to mental health. Physical abuse, people, they they gasp at. But mental abuse is so hard to help, to fix, because it's really hard for people to connect, to be able to relate, to have that empathy factor when it comes to that, because we can't visibly see it. We are in an era of, we have to see it to believe it. There is no such thing as faith anymore. And that's the crazy part. Without faith, you can't do anything in life. How are you able to have empathy with anyone else if you are into seeing before believing? That means that you have to go through what that person has gone through yourself in order for you to say, you know what, I can relate. That's scary. There's a lot of life lessons being learned all over the world. I'd rather hear somebody's story and learn from them than for me to go through their story and be like, oh my gosh, wow, I want to give you a hug. I don't want to go through, because I have my own stuff I have to go through. Why I have to go through and go on top of that, somebody else's stuff? It's so much easier just to say, let me fully immerse myself in what you're telling me. This way I can be able to, even if I can't relate fully, I can at least understand. Some people are visual learners, but I think when it comes to storytelling and hearing someone's story, to really just sit down and have a conversation with someone, I really feel like probably it can be easier if we could just sit down and listen, or just sit to understand. Not everyone is a bad guy. And we're living in a world where people, um, good guys are being framed to look like bad guys, and bad guys look like awesome people. And we only see like smoke and mirrors, but to really know the person and their character, people tell you exactly who they are. They have no problem. And victimhood. The narcissist, we all have narcissistic traits. Please don't deny that. If you need to ask Robert Greene. Ask Robert Greene. 48 Laws of Power, man. Art of Seduction, all of them. But we all have narcissistic traits. And you have to be fully aware of your bullshit. If you feel, you have to get to the point where you're comfortable enough with yourself and the things that you're not good at and the things that you're awesome at, so you can move on, so you can actually be at full peace. Because peace, when you have peace, you accept your circumstances. There's no such thing as having to prove anything. Stockism automatically kicks in when you have graduated from a certain sector. So it's just like, I'm poor. But just because I can win millions of dollars tomorrow, because I'm at peace before the money, I am not going to be the type of person that's just like, well, I have all this money now, so respect me. No, you should respect me whether I had $1. You respect me if I had $1 million. You still should respect me. You still should be kind. You still should be honorable. And that is what it is. And that also applies to myself, right? I still should be kind to people. I still should be honest. I still should be mature. I still should have accountability over my actions. It's just, material things don't define people. It has nothing to do with your pain. You can have been called ugly all your life, and one day you wake up and now you're beautiful. If you never healed the fact that you've been called ugly all your life and it affected you, it doesn't matter what you put on, how you style your hair, how much makeup you put on. Doesn't matter of how your cheekbones are symmetry aligned. Doesn't matter. You're still going to feel ugly. And you're going to try your damn hardest to be like, I'm pretty. Look at me. I'm pretty. No one gives a fuck, because everybody still has their own shit, their own like insecurities that they have to be like, okay, I got to figure this shit out. But when it's just like, when you get to the point where it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. It doesn't matter. I'm just who I am. Doesn't matter what comes my way. It is what it is. That's when you truly are just like, hey, it's all good. And I love me and I love you. And then you start you actually take energy away. Energy that's needed to do other things. Energy that is supposed to be going to certain milestones in your life. You have a purpose. Everyone's born with some form of purpose. Do you know how far you would get if you put all your energy into what your purpose is? Now, whether that is you having to work on I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Work on your speech. Work on knowing your, math, learning maturity, how to have a conversation, whether that, or managing your emotions, stop being petty, stuff like that. You will put more things on self betterment and things that are supposed to be purpose filled, because purpose filled things serve other people. It's never to serve yourself. Things that you accomplish in life, things that mean the most, is not going to be, look at me. It's going to be like, look at them. Look at what happened with them. Look at how much they improved. It's never a look at how much I have improved or how much I did. And I think that's when the humblest factor comes into play, because when you accept and you're just like, it is what it is, because we're human, we're not perfect. You're going to be like, hey, yeah, I got all these great qualities, but I also got a lot of bullshit too. Like, not everyone's going to like you. Sometimes you're not even going to like yourself in moments. And that's okay. Feelings are fleeting. How you handle them lasts a lifetime. That's one of the biggest things I really feel like I will continuously have to work on. I can, it doesn't matter if I'm like a guru on how to conduct myself. I still have things to work on. Doesn't matter. To be in perfection is contrary to the inevitable. But I don't know. It's narcissism and victimhood. I really feel like there's a very strong connection with that. And you ever notice that when a narcissist, whether they're grandiose or any kind of like, I need to supply, it's always to validate some kind of insecurity. It's always to validate or to feed, or to give to their gain of something that they feel is missing within them. True accountability is seeing that no one's gonna fucking help you. Now, when it comes to, like shit you need better within yourself, now when it comes to your character, no one can do that but yourself. You ever heard, everyone's had that speech before. Honey, no one's gonna, you show people how you want to be treated. Or, they're never going to love you like, unless you start to love yourself. Stuff like that, right? Whether it takes of you loving yourself, truly loving yourself. Truly loving yourself, don't give a fuck about anybody else. Truly self-love is strictly self. And it's not something that it's selfish. You are loving yourself so you can love other people. If you cannot love yourself, you really shouldn't be anywhere near any kind of relationship, because you're incapable of loving yourself fully. Now you can do all the greatest things. When I say I know this from experience, I was, you do all the things. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, this, that, massages, all, speaking life into people and, literally giving like the last of my last. Doing everything and jumping over every hoop, every ring of fire. And I had to get to the point where it was just, are you doing this for yourself? Can you give yourself a massage? Can you speak life into yourself? Can you, do these things? And I can hit every marker. And because I wanted to be validated that I was worth being loved, that I'm worth someone being kind to me, or, to do the things that I would do. Somebody have paid, have done that for me. I had to learn that not everyone is you. And you can expect you expect people to be themselves. And just because they don't do the things that you do doesn't make them a bad guy. It doesn't make them a bad guy. Sometimes it's straight perception. Sometimes it's straight, this is my love language and that is your love language. Sometimes that's straight, you just got shit you gotta work through, just like I got shit I gotta work through. Sometimes we're not on the same level. It all is what it is. I was the person that overwatered every plant. I love you so much. Killed the fucking plant. Straight killed it, right? Ugh, she skeeves me out. She's too nice. And learning to restrain it, to give that back into myself. And within that, I'm able to be kind to others. And if they don't accept it, okay, no problem. But it doesn't stem from a place of, I want to be loved so bad and you have to validate that. It's really preferably coming out now like, hey, I just love you because I love you. Because now I know what love feels like. Here you go. And I'm not chasing you for it. It's here if it's here. If you don't want it, you don't want it. No problem. And it's all good. I still love you. You just do you and I'm going to do me. That's it. There's nothing else to that. There's no like, you have to do this and you have to do that. You are you. You have your own journey. And I respect your journey. And if you need me, if you need somebody to speak to and stuff like that, I'm here with you. But that does not negate anything of me not feeding myself the same self-love. And that has nothing to do with, when I talk about self-love, you go back to basics of who you are. And it's literally speaking to the creator. A lot of talks is something of, God, okay, I need to fix my posture. Or should I fix my posture? How do I gain more wisdom? I need wisdom with this. I don't know what to do with this. Thank you for helping me with this. Whatever it is, it's a lot of talks with God. Okay, I don't know what to do right now, God. I'm like floating right now. What do I do? I never sat down and with my emotions longer than 5 minutes, 5 seconds. How do I sit down with myself, God? Stuff like that. Hard ass questions I had to ask myself. And really be real with it. And let the feelings come and leave. Let the thoughts come and leave. And I used to be the person that spoke a lot of negative self-talk to my own self, to the point where it's lessening and more uplifting, positive things started to say out loud when I have to refer to myself. Doesn't mean that negative things don't happen. I don't think negative things. Of course, everybody does. But it's not, I don't dwell on it as much as I used to. Thank you, Jesus. And it's okay. It's okay. If you are okay, even at your lowest, you're still at your highest. I can't really say it any other way. When you are okay with yourself, even at your lowest, you are still at your highest. It's true, because you're okay with you and you're okay where you're at. It doesn't matter if I'm president of the damn United States. I'm still going to be me, and I'm still going to be okay with that. I don't care if I made the biggest mistake of my life. It's okay, because I know who I am, and I'm okay with that. Doesn't mean you keep doing a mistake. Please don't get that twisted. But you're real enough with yourself of, I made a mistake. It's okay. I think we make mistakes so much and we beat ourselves up so much. I did it all the time. Beat myself so much of, I'm wearing a scarlet letter all over me. This is what I did. Oh, people don't even, people don't even have to inquire. They already just see it. I'm just like projecting it out. And that's what projecting really is. You're literally wearing a scarlet letter that you put on yourself. You sewed it your fucking self. And everywhere you go, you're pointing at your A. You speak to somebody new, they trigger your ass. Look at my A, look at my A, look at my A. Look at my A. Validate me. Because I'm the victim here. Because look at my A. It's just like, I wouldn't even know that shit unless you said it. But wow. Okay. We telling ourselves. People will tell you about themselves straight up. It's whether up to you if you're going to listen to it or not. And you tell on yourself. Shit. We tell all about ourselves all the time because everyone loves talking about themselves. You love talking about it, ourselves. So people be like gushing over and you're like, oh my God, I love how you're doing this and I love what you're doing with this. And they gush over it. They speak for hours on it, right? Even with me recording. I have hours recording this shit, talking. And sometimes I listen back, right? Because I'm like, sometimes I need to refresh and be like, okay, you were so much at peace then. What were you talking about? What, like, let's get some gems back, Troy, because you're starting to go to the left, right? And sometimes it's just like, damn, I really said that. You start getting proud of yourself. I'm just like, okay, yeah, don't get too prideful now, bitch. Don't be too prideful. Have a seat, because you can fuck up any day now. And it's one of those. You like to hear your own voice. Sometimes I do. I was very silent when I was a kid. Now I talk for days. So it's like I hear myself. And some days I'm very quiet. This is what it is. But victimhood, you see it just comes. People can't even control it, man. It's not something you can even control. It just comes out. Victimhood, playing victim. Tell you something. Okay, ex-husband. This is in my 20s, and there's a lot of stuff that it was just like I used to never like talk about my feelings all the way. And the way I would talk about it is talking to other people about it, but not talking to people about it. I'll just do like indirect subs all day and for him to get the picture. And we just got further and further apart. It happens. But it literally took some sit down work, right? And it's just like learn how to have mature conversations. And it's wild because once I finally was able to have a mature enough conversation, it was weird for the other person. It was just like, you're weird. Who talks calmly and shit about like why they're mad? You look like you're gonna kill me, but you are speaking so calmly to me. What's going on? It was like one of those type of things. It's just like I mastered talking. I would say master, but I got pretty good. So, it's just weird. But I learned mature conversation and really just stopping, listening to what the person is saying, truly listening. And it's funny how I know, and it sounds really weird, but then I actually heard somebody else say it, and I was just like, okay, you're on the right track. When you're truly listening, you repeat back what the person's telling you. Like you repeat it back like you're processing it. It's just like whatever you tell me, I'm summarizing. Like I don't say word from word, but it's just like the person can to pretty much be like, I'm angry because you left the door open. And it can be like, okay, so you're saying that, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. I understand that because I will be mad too if I walked in and I didn't see anybody there and the door was open. That person is just like, okay, she understands me. No, I'm coming out. So it's strange. It's one of those type of things. Go ahead. It's not strange. It's more like it was a process. It was a process for me to get to. It wasn't easy for me to get to it, but I did. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Rambling. What I'm trying to really say is narcissism and victimhood are very, very much intertwined. That's my feeling on it, or my thought process on it. And I think when you are aware of narcissistic traits, you tend to fix the things that you feel like you have to keep constantly defend. It's okay to defend it in the moment of when it happened, and stuff like that, or to speak about the problem. I'm not saying you can't speak about it, but it's one thing to speak about it. It's another thing to speak about it like you need validated, like you need someone to validate. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm so sorry. Come, let me give you a hug. And let me, do all these things to make you feel better all the time. Every time you see that person, you keep saying the same story and you keep needing that reassurance and that validation. Every time you see that person, like you could, like they don't know the problem. And if God forbid, like, I see it sometimes. God forbid that person is just like, okay, well, we spoke about it. You'll get mad. Like, well, you don't understand. And you'll be like, I understand perfectly clear. Like, you told me like this like 20 times now. And every single time I've given you a hug and we chilled about it. And, I bought lunch and and we did this to make you, and you felt a lot better. But how can we fix it so this way you truly feel better? That's the key. When are you truly going to be okay with this? Not okay with what happened, but be okay that it happened. You can't change the past, but you can use it to overcome. You can let it eat you alive, or you can battle it out and come out the winner. It's just a battle scar. You cannot change. You can't go back in time. I'm not trying to invalidate people at all because pain is pain. I get it, yo. I get it. And it does take a while. It takes their journey. But it's one thing where it takes a while for you to get to that place. And it's another thing if you refuse to do that. If you refuse to do that and you want to stay in that place and don't want to change at all, you're comfortable with, well, I have a problem and it's going to be everybody else's problem now. That's a problem. That's like me, I don't know, being being beat up every single day. And then I turn around and I beat my son up every single day. And every single time, something happens, I go back and say, well, I was beat up, and I cry about it and cry about it and cry about it and be like, I got beat up and this is what happened. And yeah, I'd be like, you can't change the thing of time. I'm so sorry that happened. But why are you hitting your fucking son? Why are you doing this? You don't understand. I don't fully understand everything that's happened to you, but I do know pain is pain. But what you cannot do is not change, because you're affecting everyone else. You're letting your son feel your pain too. Like, that's when it gets down to the point where people are not like, well, let's not point finger at the victim, but point finger at the person that has done the iniquity. It's like, you have to get to the point where it's just like, okay, it happened. And it's not all your fault, because it's the person that did that shit to you too. and it's the person that did that shit to them. It is a long line of fuck ups. But it's just one of those type of things that when you're able to be like, this is a long line of fuck ups. Generations on generations of society and people in our family or whatever that has fucked us up to the point where it's just like, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm still here. I'm able to improve this. I'm able to change my behavior, and it's all good. We'll just do better tomorrow. And you keep doing better each and every single day. Fuck your abuser, yo. Your abuser is a piece of shit. Especially if, I want to say that your abuser is a piece of shit if they're not trying to change or they feel justified for doing what they're doing. They're a piece of shit for that. They will not be a piece of shit if they are aware of what they're doing and they're constantly trying to change their ways and making sure they don't do that shit again. They're helping themselves. That's something that should be like, okay, you did mistakes, but I'm not going to keep bashing you for it. I see that you're changing. And leave it as that. If true growth is just like, you give people grace. Even when they mess up, you still give people grace. That's the same thing with God, yo. When it comes to sinning, it's just like, God will give you grace and be like, I see that you're trying. I'm going to give you grace. It's okay. I'm here. I'm still here. It's the times when you settle into your sin and be like, I don't fuck this shit. I'm going to keep doing what the fuck I'm doing. Fuck you. That's when God is just like, oh, okay. I'm going to sit my ass over here and let you do what you got to go do. And when you fuck your whole shit up, that's when it's just like, oh, man. And God ain't going to be like, I told you, I'm sorry. And I told you so. He's just going to be looking at you like, it is what it is, right? Because that's exactly what you told God. It is what it is. I'm a product of my environment. God cannot work with a hardened heart. He only works with soft hearts. You have to be willing to want to change. And I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say when it comes to people pulling themselves out of victimhood. And victimhood, you know what I'm trying to say. Things that have happened to people, yes, you are a victim. But to stay in that type of thing till your deathbed, and you hurt so many people in the process because you never faced it, and you're in your deathbed now, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. That I would say no to.